Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hockey Talking. My name is Clay. Thank you for tuning in. Every single team this weekend had to submit their protection list for the upcoming Seattle Kraken Expansion Draft coming up Wednesday night. And so we now officially know who the Blackhawks are protecting and exposing for said draft. Any surprises? Any thoughts? Let's go through it. So the Blackhawks decided to go the 7-3-1 route, which wasn't really much of a surprise. Same thing they did in the Vegas draft. If you weren't aware, teams had two different options of how they wanted to protect their players. They could either go the 8-1 route, which was you protect 8 skaters, any combination of forwards and defensemen, and then the one goaltender, or you go the 7-3-1 route, which is less flexible because you have to pick 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goaltender. The only advantage of the 7-3-1 is you get to protect more players. You're protecting 11 rather than just 9. Blackhawks went 7-3-1 route, which, as I said, was expected. A lot of teams went that route. Some teams did go the 8-1 route, but Blackhawks 7-3-1. And for that one goaltender who was protected, Blackhawks went the route that everyone thought they would go. They went and protected Kevin Lankinen, which means that Colin Delia and Malcolm Subban will be left exposed in the expansion draft, although I don't see Kraken picking either of those two players. On the defensive side of things, Blackhawks having to choose 3 defensemen to protect. Now, before Duncan Keith got traded away, the Blackhawks would have had to automatically protect Duncan Keith because of his no-move clause. But since the Blackhawks traded him away, that spot isn't taken, and so the Blackhawks can freely choose 3 defensemen to protect. One of those, no surprise, went to Connor Murphy, best defenseman on the Blackhawks, and at a really good contract price too. So yeah, don't want to lose him for nothing at least. And then the other 2 spots, a little bit more up in the air. One of those spots went to the guy who came back in that Duncan Keith trade, Caleb Jones. So we decided to protect him, who we just acquired recently. So not that big of a surprise there. And then the final spot, a little bit more of a question mark. Would they go with Calvin DeHaan, who is a veteran defenseman, but he's getting up there in age a little bit, and hasn't had the greatest of seasons with the Blackhawks. Also has been dealing with injuries too. But veteran presence. Would they protect Riley Stillman, who they just acquired in season from Florida? Or would they protect Nikita Zadorov, who they got back from Colorado in that Brandon Saad trade this past offseason? And there's been contract talks between Nikita Zadorov and the Blackhawks. He's a restricted free agent right now. But it doesn't seem like a whole lot of progress has been made, and there's reports that Blackhawks were trying to move him prior to the roster freeze. But it doesn't seem like anything got done. Now, to be fair, if there has been a trade with Seattle, we won't know until the expansion draft on Wednesday. So it's possible that something has been done. But nonetheless, Blackhawks decided to protect with that last spot Riley Stillman. So 3 defensemen that the Blackhawks are protecting: Connor Murphy, Caleb Jones, Riley Stillman. On to the 7 forwards now. Jonathan Taves, Patrick Kane, both of them have no-move clauses, so they had to automatically be protected just like in the Vegas expansion draft. So 2 down, 5 more spots that the Blackhawks had to fill up with players to be protected, and the Blackhawks decided to go with Henrik Borgstrom, Alex DeBrincat, Brandon Hagel, David Kampf, and Dylan Strome. So that means the notable forwards left exposed are Ryan Carpenter, Brett Connolly, Adam Gaudette, and Vinny Hinostroza. Honestly, no real surprises there. I think the only one that maybe I would do differently would be to protect Adam Gaudette instead of David Kampf. Not to say that David Kampf doesn't deserve to be protected. I like what he brings to the team and everything. I think it's just in the sense of I don't feel like he's the type of player that would get picked by Seattle. So he would be worth the risk of leaving exposed because I don't think he's getting picked. So that may be the only one I would do differently, but at the same time, maybe this is a show of goodwill from the Blackhawks to David Kampf for all the things he does for this team. He's a role player, 4th line player. He does a lot of good things for the Hawks, and so kind of protecting him and says, hey, we like you, we like what you do, and everything like that. Who knows? I don't know what kind of talks were had behind the scenes. But if there was a change in that 7 forward protection list, that might be the only one I would change. So there you go. That's the official protection list for the Chicago Blackhawks heading into the Seattle Kraken Expansion Draft on Wednesday night. There are talks that Seattle's going to take Zadorov. There's talks that Seattle's going to take Adam Gaudette. Who knows? We will see. And also, remember, as I mentioned, if there are trades with Seattle that have already happened, we're not going to know about it until the draft. So maybe some trades have already happened. Maybe Stan Bowman has already made some moves. We shall see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this protection list and your thoughts on the upcoming expansion draft. Should be pretty exciting. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.